we go. Let's see what happens. This is wild, guys. I don't even know how to describe the excitement right now. What's up, guys? Another day here, and you can see behind me, if you're wondering why the wheels are off. I took them off to refinish them and realized that the powder coat that was underneath the black spray paint was actually 3 layers of powder coat, and I tried sandblasting just the face of one myself and it took me 2 hours. It was brutal. So I dropped these off at a local guy. His company name is Johnny Blast. He did an amazing job. He wet blasted them and they turned out sweet. They're all the way down to bare metal. Perfect. There's no curb rash. These things are in mint. So plan for today is powder coat them, but first I have to get a majority of this out of the garage so I can powder these things, and it's a freaking wreck in here. I've been doing so much work, I just haven't had time to clean up, and I hate doing that. I hate leaving my stuff all over the place, but I don't know. Gotta do what I gotta do, so let's get to it. So I've been baking these things for close to 30-35 minutes now. They should be at about the right temp, around 400 degrees. I'm pre-baking. I always pre-bake my parts. If you guys are interested in a more detailed powder coating video, I'm no professional, but I can show you what it takes to do it in your garage cheaply with pretty good results. I've been using this Eastwood system for roughly 7 years now, and it's worked pretty good. So I use a household electric oven. I can only fit one wheel at a time, unfortunately, but that's what I got to do. So I should be ready to get some powder on it. We'll see how it goes, and we'll do like a little half bake after I get the first coat on it and see if it needs any more, if I miss any spots, whatever. And let's hope it goes well. I feel like I cleaned them pretty good. So alright guys, got the first one out of the oven. Turned out pretty damn good. There's a few dirt nibs in it, but you know, what am I gonna do? That's just the nature of doing stuff in a garage. It's not perfect conditions, but I'm happy with it. It looks good enough for me. Pretty stoked. So got the second one pre-baking right now, and then I'll get to coating the other 3. I'm not going to show you guys that process because I showed you the first time. Pretty simple stuff, and once they're all done, I'll throw them up on the car, see how they look, hopefully get tires mounted tomorrow. So I'm trying to be efficient here and do other things while the wheels are baking, and I got this rear camber kit. It's made by some company named DNA Motoring. It's kind of cheap. It looks alright. I think it'll do okay. It'll do what I need it to do, and it looks pretty solid. I don't see any issues with it, maybe, you know, cracking or anything like that. I think it's going to be fine for what I'm doing. And believe it or not, I've never had a rear camber kit on this car when I owned it, and it's been run this whole time with the stock rear upper links. So go ahead and get these out and see how this fits up. I anti-seized everything on this car when I assembled it way back in the day, and looks like a lot of it's held up. Any of you that live in the Midwest, you know what it's like to deal with these suspension bolts in these cars. They always rust, seize up, you gotta cut them out, new bushings, it's a nightmare. So I recommend anti-seize. It's not gonna make your bolts fall out, they're not gonna come loose. It just really helps you when you need to take it apart someday. So there's the factory one. Compare it to the aftermarket camber kit here. definitely looks much shorter, so hopefully the adjustment on these is reasonable to where there's still enough thread in that center adjuster. We'll see. It's kind of making me nervous. That's quite a bit shorter. Got the new one in. I couldn't really hold the camera and put it in. It's kind of too tight in here to get a tripod up or anything, so it's mounted. I feel okay about it. I had to adjust it pretty far out just to even get it close to the stock one, but I think it's going to be okay. We'll see. If I feel weird about it and I just don't trust it, I'll pull it out and put the factory ones back in until I get a better kit, but see how it goes. I'm going to leave the center adjuster just finger tight for now, and I'll have to remember to tighten that up later on once I get ride height set and camber adjustments and all that thing. So, but one side down, do the other side. What's up, guys? It's another day here. It's been, I don't know, probably a week since I last recorded when the wheels got back from sandblasting and I powder coated them. So I took them to the tire shop, got the tires mounted and balanced, and got the Buddy Club P1 decals on. I put on some Nitto Neogen tires just because they're pretty cost effective, and I'm really only going to be street driving this thing for a while. I didn't need to put anything crazy on here, so they fit the budget because the budget is super thin now. I'm almost out of money. But otherwise, while the car was on jack stands, I went ahead and repainted all the stuff under here with POR 15, cleaned everything up. The coilovers, not going to do much to those. Just kind of run them for now because they work. Upper camber kit that I installed is also adjusted. I haven't actually done a camber adjustment yet. I'm going to tackle that after I drive the car and things settle and see how it works out. And as far as the coilovers, these things are 20 years old. They're an old Japanese brand called Section Silk Road. If any of you guys have ever heard of them. I bought these in '03 on eBay from a Japanese seller, and they're super stiff springs. They actually work really well. They handle well, but they are very stiff. I want to say they were like 12K front, 10K rear springs or something like that. Very, very stiff. There's no dampening adjustability, but they're good. I think they're going to be fine for now. So otherwise, I got the CTR rear sway bar hooked up. It was just kind of hanging there, so I put some bolts through the end links. The Function 7 control arms still look as good as ever. These are OG Function 7s. I bought them way back in the day, probably 06, 07 I bought those, as with the ASR subframe brace. All legit parts, no eBay junk. I'm glad they survived the time they've been gone, and they're still in really good shape. To the front, same deal. These are kind of dusty from sitting here, but same thing, cleaned up. Everything's recoated with POR 15. The energy suspension bushings still look to be in really good shape. And what's this? Random zip tie. So I'm ready to put these wheels on, get them mounted up, torqued, and do a couple other little things, and we can actually take this thing on the first drive. I am so freaking stoked. It's been a long time. I have not driven this car since 2006. That's 17 years since I've driven this car. I'm so excited to take you guys along, and let's get to it. This thing's been on jack stands for far too long. Let's lower it and see what these wheels look like on the ground. I am stoked. Dang. That looks so good. I mean, I know we already saw them on here before, but now that they're refinished, fuck, those look so sick. Alright, let's do the other shit we need to do. Get this thing fired up. So another thing I need to do before I can actually drive this thing is make a tie down for the battery. They had this battery box in the trunk, and the battery that was in there kind of had some like wood blocking set up in there. I guess it worked, it held the battery, but I don't like that. So I'm gonna take a few materials I have just laying around and make a battery tie down similar to the factory Honda one, where it was a little strap across the top, 2 threaded rods, real simple. But of course the factory one, the strap would work, although I don't even have it, but the rods would be too short. So I'm gonna go ahead and just make my own, and I'm gonna make a tie down strap out of a piece of aluminum I have, do a couple holes in it, make it look a little cooler, you know. That's what I like to do with stuff. I don't know why, it's just something I always do. So I'm gonna get to that. I already got welder set up, a few other things set up, take some measurements, and whip this out real quick. Shouldn't take too long. I don't know how much you guys want to see of this type of stuff. I don't want to make it boring. I don't know how much you guys actually want to see of projects like this. If you like this little stuff, fabrication things, let me know and I'll do more of it. I just don't really know how much you guys want to see. So please comment, let me know. I enjoy doing this stuff. Even if it's something simple like this, I still love it. I think it's super fun. So let's get to it. What I'm going to do here is I just basically need to measure. I have some 1/4 inch, just regular 1/4 inch mild steel round bar, and some 6mm 1.0 bolts. So I'm going to cut, basically, I don't know if in half, but I'm going to section a part of this, weld it to the bottom of the rod, and then have the other threaded piece on the top, and it'll simply just work just like the Honda one. It just won't have that hook on the bottom that the Honda one normally has to mount into that tray, because we don't have the tray. So it's basically just going to go through the body of the car, and I might pin it or something so it doesn't fall down. We'll see. I'll get to that when I get there, but here we go. Okay, so I have my little bandsaw out for this job. I think it'll be plenty good for doing this. I shouldn't need the big bandsaw. Alright, so I got these beveled, which probably really wasn't necessary, but I did it anyway. Got them clamped down. Just gonna weld the ends on real quick and they'll be done. It's nothing serious, pretty simple little project. Alright guys, so the blade on the little bandsaw was shot. I don't know what I cut on it last time, but it was pretty bad. So I had to get out the big boy. This thing cuts way better anyways. That was fast. Alright guys, so I finished it off camera, but tie down complete. Turned out pretty cool. I just gave it a little rough sand. This thing is solid now, no more bouncing around. Just got to later wire in the cutoff switch. I don't know if I'm going to use the one they put on the lid. I had put one on the back of the car way back when. I planned on seriously tracking it, so I don't know. But for now, I'm happy it's just solid and no more bouncing around. So that is done. So I pushed the car out here farther up the driveway. It was really close to the fence, just in case something does go wrong. I need to get anywhere on the car. So we got it out here. Oil's changed, coolant's topped off. Brake fluid is on the low end, but still safe. I need to go get some more. I'm out. But I did a full systems check. Headlights work, turn signals work, brake lights work. Brakes seem to work. We'll see once we drive it. It seems to slow down okay, just pushing it around. I did undo the injectors and cranked it over just to prime things. So we're ready to start, I think. I'm nervous. Here we go. Let's see what happens. Oh! I'm nervous, guys. First start since 2006. Let's go! Oh shit. Whoa. Okay, we got some idle surge. I was gonna say that idled down very quickly. Got a lot of rattles in here I'm gonna have to solve. Oh, that's easy. That's just that pod. Something right there. No big deal. Solid mounts, you know the deal. AFR looks okay for a idle, cold start idle. Let's check it out, make sure everything looks good. Don't see any leaks. It does have a surge thing going on, probably a dirty idler control valve from sitting. That's easy. Oh my god, you guys, this is crazy. Oh, I don't even know what to say. I can't even contain my excitement. This is surreal. I didn't think I'd ever actually drive this car again. So this is nuts. She smells a little rich, even though the AFR was at 15 something, but could just be old dirty fuel smelling weird. Still, I think that's okay for a cold start from sitting for a while anyway too. Once things get flowing, maybe it'll improve. I think that's all right. It's safe. Man, she's starting to idle better now too. Calming down a bit. Sounds okay. Hear a slight rattle from somewhere, but that could be an exhaust rattle or something. Alright. You guys, this is nuts. Alright. I can't wait to take this thing for a drive, but it's pretty dirty from sitting, and I gotta do it justice on the first drive. I'm gonna give it a really quick wash, change my clothes because I'm filthy. I'll take you guys along for first drive. Alright guys, she's clean. I changed clothes. Let's go take this thing for its first drive in 17 years. For me, anyway. She looks pretty sweet, all cleaned up. Alright, let's roll. Those rattles. Gotta fix that. Alright guys, here we go. I'm pretty nervous, I'm not gonna lie. Alright, brakes work. She stops. That clutch is stiff. Hopefully the audio comes through decent because everything's rattling. This thing's pretty loud. Take it easy for a few. Wow, this is so surreal. Definitely as stiff as I remember. It was not this rattly though. Uh-oh. Got a freaking turn signal out. That wasn't there. The alignment's not too far off. Definitely got to do a toe check just to be sure, but so far not bad. Well, shifts through all the gears good so far. See if we got fifth. Yes. AFRs look pretty good too. I don't know if you guys can see them or not. Yeah, AFRs look decent. I can live with that. Although I gotta figure out this turn signal issue now. Yeah, the AFR is right around 13.5, cruising, part throttle. Not bad. Seems like a decent tune. Let's hit this roundabout up, see how it feels on a corner. Feels stiff, but turns nicely. Almost felt like the rear was going to come out even though I wasn't even going that fast. The CTR rear sway bar is pretty stiff. This is wild, guys. I don't even know how to describe the excitement right now. Feels pretty good. It's very loud. Not really a fan of that. The stiffness I'm fine with. Got to fix the rattles for sure. It's pretty bad. Alright guys, so I'm back from the first drive in 17 freaking years. Feels so good. I am so freaking pumped on this thing. There's just something about it I can't describe, even though it's slow. It's really slow. but it handles so good. It's so fun. I just missed it. I was definitely missing something like this in my toys, so I'm very, very thankful I was able to get my first car back. What an experience. So cool. It's looking pretty good, like it was. Almost back to its former glory. And I'm just over the freaking moon. So I know this video is kind of all over the place. I apologize. I'm still new at this. I'm trying. But if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you like the content, please consider subscribing. I would really appreciate it because I have a lot of future stuff I want to do to this car. Today really taught me that the exhaust it's beyond my comfort level. So that's going to be something I can do a future video on. Building a full stainless exhaust, maybe even a muffler from scratch. If you guys want to see something like that, please follow along. I have a lot of plans. We're going to do some fun stuff with this car, I promise. So if you watched the whole thing, if you've been following along the first couple videos and now this one, I really appreciate you. And I'm happy. That's all I can say. I can't believe I got my car back. So good. Peace, guys.